Morning, folks. It is day 2, and Sherpa and I are off to find the bear bags. Hopefully, they are still there. Right now that the bear bag is retrieved, we are going to get some water from the creek here. I checked the GoV. It said it got down to 37 last night. And it's around 40 degrees right now, about 6:30 in the morning. And yeah, but I was nice and warm in my 25 degree quilt and REI sleeping pad. Actually worked out okay. Let's go get some water. And check out this morning. This is beautiful. Another new piece of gear that I'm trying out is the 1 liter Hydro Pack. I use the Catadine Be-Free filter, and if you're familiar with using that, you know that those bags can get pinholes them very easily. So I have 2, and I've got some duct tape, Dyneema tape on them. So I thought I would try this out. The Hydro Pack is 1 liter. It's also sturdier than the Catadine Be-Free. So hopefully this will not have little puncture holes in it. But it's working out pretty good so far. It collapses just like the other one and fits in my backpack pretty easy. So far so good. I don't know about your dog, but my dog likes to eat around 6 o'clock in the morning. And maybe start whining about it a little bit at 5. And she woke me up at 4:30 this morning, ready for her food. It's about 6:30 right now, before I was ready to get out of the hammock. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. So the plan for today is, this will probably be our shortest day. We're going to hike around 8-9 miles. There's supposed to be some really great campsites around mile 18 and 19 with good water sources, potentially some fishing. I brought my Tenkara rod and hope to do a little fishing maybe this afternoon at camp. I think it's pretty much downhill. We do have one bit of a climb, I believe, maybe before we get to camp, but it's going to be a fairly light day, so it should be a good one, and looking forward to it. Looks like it's gonna be a beautiful day. Let's go get it. Remember when I said at the beginning of this morning it was all downhill? Whew, that was a lie. There are a few ups. So you go down this massive switchback to get down to the creek, and I believe it's Lost Creek. And then you do a quick little up. Not much, but it's enough to kind of take your breath away. And then you walk along as you're heading east. You just walk along the water, do a little bouldering, and then you do another little climb. Again, nothing horrible, but again, enough to make you stop and take your breath away. And then I think we have one more climb before we start heading north, before the loop starts heading north. That looks like it's 1,000-foot climb over maybe a mile and a half. So that's steep. So we just had lunch, had a little break, so we feel rejuvenated. It's overcast, which is great because it's like 1 in the afternoon, so it's keeping those temperatures down. But yeah, today's been more of a challenge than I was expecting. But it is beautiful out here. It is beautiful. Whew! Finally made it over that last bit of McCurdy Park as you start heading north. As soon as you start heading north, there's probably about a mile up. And for us, we hit that around like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and there was no shade. There's clouds all in the sky, but none of them were covering the sun. And that was a brutal little climb. It was about 1,000 feet, I think, within that mile. So that was definitely a nice little workout. But now we are cruising downhill for the most part, and got a lot of good shade trees. I think we are about 2 miles from our campground. So this trail intersects with the Wigwam Trail, and I believe there's some beaver ponds and streams all in that one area. Looks to have some good camping. So we will see you at camp. All right, we have found camp and we are set up, and we have found a pretty nice spot here. So there's a creek that runs down there, which is great. Nice fire pit. Charles getting dinner ready. Here's Sherpa's already wore out. I think she's tired. She's on her bed and she's trying to get away from mosquitoes. But there's the Dutch netless with the hammock gear tarp. It's worked out really well. And then again, Charles with his hubba hubba. Very cool. So Nate is actually off using my Tenkara rod to do some fly fishing in some beaver ponds that are close by. Charles and I, the old man that we are, decided we're just gonna set up camp and rest anyway. But check out this this creek. We got a nice little water source here. sweet. But yeah, we hiked about, I don't know, another 10 miles today. We were looking to go a little further, but mosquitoes seem to be bad here. And we knew if we were hiking down like to where the beaver ponds are at, they're probably even going to be worse. So we found this great spot. Even has some rock seats, which is nice. Good fire pit. So I said, all right, good water source. Let's get it set up. All right, that's camp. All right, day 2 recap. Day 2 was a much more difficult hike than I thought it was going to be. I thought we'd hike around 8 miles because I heard there were some amazing campsites around mile 18 of this loop if you're going counterclockwise. And there was an amazing site, but there's no water up there. But you could prepare to do that. Anyway, the first part of the day was just cruising, big switchbacks down the trail, the McCurdy Park Trail, and some beautiful rock formations. So that was fun. Then you get down to the water, and we had a couple of water crossings. One of them particularly interesting where it was moving pretty good, and my fear was that Sherpa was going to get swept away. So we talked to a couple other hikers, and they recommended going further upstream where you could come through a little more shallow, like around your calf and knee as opposed to your waist. So that's what we did, and Sherpa did great. I kept her on a leash just in case she wouldn't float off, but she did great. And then she had to do a little bouldering, and at first I'm looking, oh, Sherpa's gonna have a hard time. And Sherpa went up that thing like a champ, so that was great. I think what made today hard was I didn't anticipate some of the elevation gains and losses getting to where we're at now. It's about 10 miles further. So we're not quite to the Wigwam Trail. We're probably a mile away from that, but we found this great spot, so we stopped here. So I think we're probably around 19 miles in for the loop, again, going counterclockwise. And there was this one stretch, it was 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and it was hot, and it was just straight up. You know, it was about a mile and 1,000 feet of elevation gain. And prior to that, there was already some short up and downs with some steep elevation gain and then loss. And I think that's kind of what made it hard, physically and mentally as well, as you're just tired of going up and then losing elevation. But then once we got up to the very top of that McCurdy Park, that high point, and we started coming down, it was cruisy from there. You come down to this, you start seeing a pretty little meadow, and then you enter into a forest, and that's where we're at this point. Tomorrow we probably have about, another 10 miles to go, maybe 9, depending on the actual distance of where we're at our campsite. But today was an amazing day, an exhausting day. I thought that after day 1 with those big views that it just wasn't going to be beat, and I was wrong. There was still a lot of cool, fun things to see and to do, a lot of adventuring, little bouldering, stream crossing, big open views with the rock formations, and so it was pretty cool. Pretty cool day, just kind of exhausting. Speaking of exhausting, we're finishing up dinner, getting a fire going, and we're getting ready for tomorrow. So I'll see you in the morning.